Alright, welcome to Chef's Take. I'm your host, Michael Zavaris. Today is Friday, September 29th, 2023. We have some Week 4 games for you this upcoming Sunday, and I'm looking forward to it. But before we get into that, let's do a quick recap on Week 3. As for my record, I need to go through the games. So we had a total of 16 games per usual. In Week 3, we had one. Let's see how I did this week. So, let me pick out all the wrong ones I had. Patriots, Commanders. 1, 2, 3. I only had 3 games wrong this week. I went 13-3. And I just want to mention the Cardinals and Cowboys game. I do remember for a fact saying I would not be surprised if the Cowboys lose this game. It would be a very Dallas Cowboys thing to do. And the Cardinals won. So, yeah. I want to give me... You know what? Screw it. This is my channel. I will give myself a half a win for that. So, instead of me going 13-3... I had 13.5 correct. Let's call it that. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of myself. But yeah, in all reality, you know, I went 13-3. The only games I had wrong this week were we have the Texans upsetting the Jaguars. I don't know what happened there. The Colts beating the Ravens. And obviously the Cardinals and Cowboys. Even though, like I said, I kind of saw it coming. But anyway, that's over with. So, let's talk about this Dolphins and Broncos game. 70 points scored by the Dolphins. If they kicked a field goal, because they were in the red zone, if they kicked a field goal, they would have had the NFL record for most points scored in a single game. 70 points. Unbelievable. Now, Anthony started Raheem Mostert in fantasy, and he had like 45 points, something like that. Devon Achane had 52 points. Let's look at the stats here. Tua threw the ball 26 times, completed 23 of those passes for 309 yards and 4 touchdowns. Devon Achane had 18 carries for 203 yards and 2 touchdowns. Raheem Mostert had 13 carries for 82 yards and 3 touchdowns. Chris Brooks had 9 carries for 66 yards. Tyreek Hill had 9 catches for 157 yards and a touchdown. Robbie Chosen, formerly known as Robbie Anderson, had 1 catch for 68 yards for a touchdown. Raheem Mostert, 7 catches, 60 yards and a touchdown. Devon Achane, 4 catches, 30 yards and 2 touchdowns. Unbelievable. They scored 7 touchdowns. They were playing Madden. This is a Madden score. This is a college football game score. Last time I saw a score like this, Sean Payton was involved, but he wasn't on the wrong side of it. It was a 62-7 New Orleans Saints win against the Indianapolis Colts in 2011 when Peyton Manning had neck surgery. That was the last absolute ass beating I have seen. There is another word I could choose to describe this game, but I'm on YouTube. I don't want to get striked, and I also want to have a future in this field. But as Vicente would say, it rhymes with the word grape. So, it was brutal. Brutal. Damn. I can't believe that. But anyway... So, another ass beating. We had the Bills and Commanders. 37-3. The Commanders didn't score until the 4th quarter. If we look here, the Bills just absolutely dominated this entire game. Washington had 5 turnovers, and Washington turned the ball over 5 times, and Buffalo sacked Sam Howell 9 times. This is the Bills' defensive line. They play against the Eagles' defensive line this Sunday. Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Jalen Carter, my Defensive Rookie of the Year pick, Jordan Davis, Josh Sweat, Hassan Reddick, all of those big boys up front. They're going against that defensive line. If the Bills can get 9, we can get 12. Oh my God. I don't know how this happens. And Sam Howell threw 4 interceptions. Antonio Gibson had a fumble. Oh my God. Yeah, the Bills' defense had like 30-plus points in fantasy this week. Speaking of fantasy, let's talk about the Chargers and Vikings game. Keenan Allen had the best game I've seen from a fantasy player of mine. Targeted 20 times, caught 18 passes, 215 yards, not to mention a 49-yard touchdown pass to Mike Williams, who is now unfortunately out for the year. The running game was not working at all. Joshua Kelly, 11 carries for 12 yards. Justin Herbert, 2 carries for 11 yards. Isaiah Spiller, 2 carries for 7 yards. Run game didn't work, but the passing game did. 405 passing yards for Herbert. 40 of 47 passing for 405 yards. Whew. Wow. So, yeah. If you have Keenan Allen in fantasy, you must start him this week. There's no Eckler or Mike Williams this week. Well, Mike Williams is out for the year, unfortunately, and no Austin Eckler this week. He's going to use the bye week to fully heal and then play in week 7. Whew. And then we go to the Seahawks game. Kenneth Walker, 97 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 3 catches for 59 yards. He had 30 points for me. I won. Sorry, I hate to bring it up because, I went against Matt this week, but, I won pretty easily. I could have had 200 points this week because this was a crazy week for fantasy. Everyone, popped off. Tyreek Hill had over 30 points. What's his name? The entire freaking Dolphins offense were in the top scorers in fantasy this week. There was 5 guys right over 20 points. So yeah. But that's all I have to say about week 3. So let's talk about the Eagles game. So the Eagles won 25-11. We did pretty well throughout the whole game. Jalen Hurts did throw 2 picks. One of them was miscommunication between him and DeAndre Swift, and the other one was honestly a great play by the defense. So I'm not upset with Hurts' performance at all. I did miss the entire first quarter due to work, but I know Britton Covey had a 52-yard punt return, which is great. Love to see it. I was very hard on Britton Covey for absolutely no reason, but Britton Covey, statistically speaking, is a top 2 return specialist right now. So good for him. I'm glad he's doing well. DeAndre Swift balled out once again, 16 carries for 130 yards. A.J. Brown finally had his game, 9 catches, 131 yards. Amalde Zaccheaus had 2 catches for 58 yards and a touchdown. I think he's better than Quez Watkins. Quez Watkins is just fast. That's about it. He has no hands. And I don't know what happened to him. Because 2021, he did pretty good. He was great at catching the 50-50 balls. Last year, he didn't do jack shit. This year, he hasn't really done anything either. And now he's out against Washington. So, I don't know what to tell you. But Amalde is looking really good. Devontae Smith had 4 catches for 28 yards. It's whatever. We won the game. Jalen Carter is looking like Defensive Rookie of the Year, right? I'm telling you that right now. He forced a fumble. He's looking really good. He had 2 forced fumbles. My bad. He's in the top 5 in pressures and all that kind of stuff. He hasn't even played 50% of the snaps yet. So you love to see it. I'm surprised 8 teams pass up on him for us to get him. Unbelievable. So, we won with these. Defense looked really good. Josh Jobe is looking pretty solid. So, yeah, that's, I want to give A's all around for the team. We looked pretty good out there. So, let's get into week 4. So, we had the Lions and Packers yesterday. It was the first time the Lions were favored in Green Bay in God knows how long. And they were 2.5-point favorites, and they won 34-20. And I did pick the Lions to win this game. Let's talk about David Montgomery, who was unfortunately on my bench. 32 carries, 121 yards, and 3 touchdowns, as well as 2 catches for 20 yards. He had 34 points in fantasy, and he was on my bench. Now, you're probably... the guys I have starting, it seemed like a no-brainer. Like, I'm starting Kenneth Walker, Joe Mixon, and James Cook. So, I don't know what to tell you. But he looked really good. So, and I also started Sam Laporta, who had 4 catches for 56 yards. So yeah, I did pick the Lions to win this game, so we are 1-0 right now. Now let's get into the rest of the games. So Sunday, 9:30 a.m., the Jaguars will be in London, where they are favored by 3 points, taking on the Falcons. I'm taking the Jaguars here, -3. Over-under's 43 points. I'll take the Jags here. I like the Jags. I think they're going to turn it around after that embarrassing loss to Houston. Next, we have the Commanders and Eagles. Eagles are 8.5-point favorites. Over-under's 43.5. Give me the Eagles. With what the Bills did to this Washington team, I can only imagine what the Eagles are going to do. I'm starting their defense, so I hope they can get me like 20 points. Next, we have the Dolphins and Bills. This should be a good game. From what I've heard on the Pat McAfee show, Jawan Phillips is out, and he's, I believe he's the Dolphins' best pass rusher, and Jordan Poyer is out. I'm expecting a shootout, but honestly, I really want to pick the Bills, but I'm going to take the Dolphins here. Next, we have the Broncos and Bears, 2 0-3 teams going at it. Both teams are ass. One just lost by 50 points and allowed 70 points. I'm going to take the Broncos because the Bears are just awful. They're terrible. I don't know what the hell is going on. Give me the Broncos here. I'm going to go 24-10. 24-10 Broncos. Next, we have the Ravens and Browns. Deshaun Watson is questionable for whatever reason. And, of course, the entire Ravens team is out with an injury. So, it's a 1 point. The Browns are favored by 1 point. This is tough. If Deshaun Watson doesn't play, even though he's been playing like shit, give me the Ravens. The Browns defense is looking really good right now. But, both teams are banged up. Give me the Browns. Actually, yeah, give me the Browns. Next, we have the Bengals and Titans. Bengals, and they're only favored by 2.5 points. I don't know why. I think Jamar Chase is going to have a field day, and I hope he does because I'm starting him in fantasy. But that also means Joe Burrow has to go off, and that's what I'm playing against this week. So we'll see. But give me the Bengals here. Next, we have the Rams and Colts. Anthony Richardson is playing. Cooper Kupp will not be playing. I really want to pick the Rams, but I'm taking the Colts here. Next, we have Buccaneers and Saints. Derek Carr is out, and Jameis Winston is in. Give me the Saints. Next, we have the Vikings and Panthers. Vikings are 4.5-point favorites. Panthers and Vikings are both 0-3. Give me the Vikings. We have the Steelers and Texans. Steelers -3. Raiders and Chargers. Jimmy Garoppolo is still on concussion protocol from what I heard. Give me the Chargers. Not that it matters. We have the Patriots and Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys -6.5. Cardinals and Niners. Niners are 14-point favorites. I'll take Niners by 14. Chiefs and Jets. Give me the Chiefs by -8.5. And last game we have the Seahawks and Giants. Give me the Seahawks -1.5. So yeah, those are my picks this week. We have the Lions, Jags, Eagles, Dolphins, Broncos, Browns, Bengals, Colts, Saints, Vikings, Steelers, Chargers, Cowboys, Niners, Chiefs, and Seahawks. So I will see you guys next week, and yeah, thank you for tuning in. I will appreciate and much appreciate it. See you next week.